Hey everybody, it's Smalls, and it's been a while since I've done a fairy tale chapter review, but this time I'm going to be doing 2 chapters. Now, like most reviewers who at least touch fairy tale, we usually, fade in and out due to, how off the rails the series can get sometimes. But unlike others who only come back when there are things to rant about, I want to come back to something that is reviewable in all ways, shapes, and forms, which is the true backstory of the birth of Erza Scarlet. So this is not just Urza's mother, but actually, at least in the second chapter, 515, the reveal of both of her parents. So before I touch the canvas that is Irene, let's go into her nameless father, a random knight from another country. Now, Manga Stream did not translate 515, but I still got the gist of the chapter. He was literally a dick. A complete and utter dick. But, to his defense at the very least, he was not exactly prepared for some woman he didn't even love, he just was married to. Political marriages aren't always a certain connection or bond. He most definitely did not have that bond or connection with neither his wife or his unborn child. So, that being said, props to Irene's magic for being able to hold Erza in her stomach, not just for 3 years, but for a couple hundred afterwards as she tried to put her mind back together, and epically failed. She actually, more or less, before becoming the recipient of Worst Mother of All History, actually was more or less Mother of the Year. She specifically held Erza in because she didn't want her born into that environment. The environment where her being born from a dragon woman would have literally gotten her persecuted and tortured. It was absolutely terrible. I'm surprised they tortured her for 3 whole years. And I'm going to be honest, this is less of a chapter review and more of a character study of her mother, and kind of a review of both. Because honestly, it surprised me how much we got of a build towards Irene's character. Irene, before these 2 chapters, was just a bitch and an overpowered character who just was overpowered for the sake of being overpowered. To the point where she could stand toe-to-toe with Agnolia. I can't pronounce his name perfectly. But, just like him, the big black dragon, whose name I refuse to pronounce, just like him, he can go back to his human form, but it's really just an aesthetic. He is still 100% dragon, just not dragon. He's a dragon that used to be human. So, in that sense, it makes sense why Irene was able to hold up against him. Because not only was she a strong warrior to begin with, although maybe not as OP as we would have thought, she was at least strong enough to be such a, prominent figure in a war where dragons were a common thing. Because think about that. The power scaling of dragons versus humans has always been, insignificant. It's been significantly abysmal. Which was made very clear when the dragons were brought back in the Magic Games arc. So, thinking about why Irene, in the end, is so much powerful, even compared to her other peers, is because she is a dragon. She is a dragon who survived the dragon wars as a human and then became more powerful as a dragon. And also because she lost her freaking mind. And it also makes sense how she joined Zaref, because he's the one who at least allowed her to, gain that human look. Unlike her predecessor, the giant black dragon with that hard-to-pronounce name, it seems she was not, at least initially, capable of holding that form on her own. I'm not entirely sure if she can go back to dragon form on her own, but the power she holds is without a doubt stemming from her actual true nature. Which might actually have something to do with why Erza is so strong. I don't know how, I mean, Urza's old, if you think about it one way. It took a long time for her to... She spent a lot of time as a fetus. Like, the entire time that Natsu and the rest of the Dragon Slayers just, boom, was just shot into the future, she was literally existing as a fetus for that entire time. And even without that, she is still slightly older than them. That is ridiculously insane in many different levels, but it's not, rantable or anything. It makes sense. It's like dots are being connected, and I actually kind of enjoy this little revelation because, it's not like Hiro-sensei is, Mashima-sensei is a stranger to time travel being a key to the, at least powers of his protagonists. I mean, hell, Ellie from his previous series, Rave Hunter, was... I can't remember if she was sent into the future a little bit or just sealed away for a small amount of time. Either way, time travel is a staple of his in a way. And I like that. It really brings together that Rave Master feel. Especially since in Rave Master, the actual time travel element, which was actually more key to the characters than we would have ever thought, was actually something that wasn't revealed until the last few arcs. So for him to do that again, while, it feels a little bit more out of nowhere in one sense, I can see it. I can absolutely see it, and it works. It works 100%. As much as this arc has shit on a lot of other people, I personally feel like this alone, as well as the revelation of all the Dragon Slayers being sent in the future from 400 years ago, it gives us a nice feel for those who at least were with him back when he had Rave Master, or at least read Rave Master before reading Fairy Tail, or watched, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is that this was a real treat for the time travel element to be not abused, but made put in center stage, honestly. And I can't wait to see the rest of the battle between Erza, and I can't wait to see what kind of theories the community, or if Hiro-sensei will come out and say what exactly the dragon lineage Erza has affects her. I mean, there's nothing on her father's side. He's just a dick. And he got killed in one stomp. So, his ass, bye-bye. But her mother, that's some powerful shit. For all we know, maybe the magic that was keeping her from being born for hundreds of years is what made her so fucking strong. She's the descendant of a fucking dragon. Don't forget that Irene, when she finally snapped, tried to enchant herself into Erza as a fetus. Now, if that one isn't, at least partially responsible for the events, not the events, but her power as, one of the strongest mages in Fairy Tail, I don't know what is. Like, I can actually 100% see why she's so overpowered. Because remember, like I said earlier in the video, dragons are so much stronger than humans. So if Erza, at least has part of the magic of a dragon just soaked into her very essence, at the very least, that might be why she had so much latent ability, that even when she wasn't as strong as she is now, was at least able to do some things that would look ex machina-like. That, for me, feels like it answers a lot in terms of Erza's holes in her character. So, bravo. So if you guys, feel the same, I mean, a lot of you guys will probably still feel, like at the very least, this 2-chapter part was at least well-deserved. It was well-written. Nothing rantable like previously. As for whether you guys think it makes up for, or at least half makes up for, Erza's feats as a Deus Ex Machina machine of wanton destruction, put that in the comments below and give this video a like. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review / character study / discussion, because in terms of when I do reviews from now on, or even with One Piece reviews maybe, I want to make them part discussions as well, to make them more engageable with you guys. So thank you, love you guys, and have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever you guys celebrate.